Harlan Fix Storm. He was born on October 11, 1872, in Chesterfield, New Hampshire. Harlan Fix Storm served as Chief Justice on the U.S. Supreme Court from 1941 to 1946. He grew up in a rural community in Massachusetts. Storm also went to work as a corporate lawyer. Harlan Fix Storm. He graduated from Amherst College, Columbia Law School, and also Columbia University. Harlan Fix Storm divided his early professional life between the private practice of law and teaching. He was Dean of Columbia Law School. Storm former college chum from Amherst, Calvin Coolidge, appointed him Attorney General in 1923. Within a year, Storm was appointed to the Supreme Court. Franklin Roosevelt elevated Storm to the position of Chief Justice in 1941. Despite Storm's Republican associations, Storm's experience in academic work was good preparation for his turn on the High Court, where he articulated a central tenet of his judicial philosophy, the concept of judicial self-restraint. In his early experience of the bench, Storm was often at odds with many of his colleagues who sought to impose their policy preferences in the name of the Constitution. Storm continued to battle against the imposition of personal policy preferences while Chief Justice, though the impetus for changing came this time from his liberal colleagues. Storm rose to national prominence in 1924 when President Calvin Coolidge appointed him U.S. Attorney General. He helped improve the image of the Department of Justice, which had been sullied during the Harding administration. He reorganized the department and selected J. Edgar Hoover to lead the FBI, who would later become a highly controversial figure. For the landmark cases, 7 employees of the Swift and Company packing plant in Fort Worth, Texas, brought an action under the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 to recover overtime, liquidated damages, and attorney's fees totaling approximately $77,000, equivalent to $1 million in 2017. The employees were required to stay on the packing plant's premises when they were not on the clock. In the action brought by the employees to recover overtime for the periods that they spent on call, the district court ruled that the time employees spent waiting to respond to alarms did not count as hours worked. The United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit affirmed the lower court's decision, and the employees appealed to the Supreme Court. Interesting facts of Harlan Fix Storm. Harlan Fix Storm served as Chief Justice until his death in 1946. He had one of the shortest terms of any Chief Justice and was the first Chief Justice not to have served in elected office, and also he is the 12th Chief Justice of the United States from 1941 to 1946. Storm remained the court's Chief Justice until his death on April 22, 1946, after suffering a cerebral hemorrhage.
Plessy v. Ferguson was a landmark 1896 U.S. Supreme Court decision that upheld the constitutionality of racial segregation under the separate but equal doctrine. The case stemmed from an 1892 incident in which African American train passenger Homer Plessy refused to sit in a car for blacks. The case happened on May 18, 1896. The case originates in Covington, Louisiana. On June 7, 1892, Plassey bought a ticket on a train from New Orleans bound for Covington, Louisiana, and took a vacant seat in a whites-only car. After refusing to leave the car at the conductor's insistence, he was arrested and jailed. Segregation and black disenfranchisement picked up pace in the South and was more than tolerated by the North. Congress defected a bill that would have given federal protection to allocation in 1892 and nullified a number of reconstruction laws on the books. In declaring support for equal facilities constitutional on interstate railroad, the court ruled that the protection of 14th Amendment applied only to political and civil rights. The decision legitimized the many state laws re-establishing racial segregation that had been passed in the American South after the end of the Reconstruction era.